Gazed upon by the exciting world of Elvis Presley, it's impossible for Priscilla to not be drawn into his world with the ultimate sacrifice of her own identity. Lachlan, you and I both quite like Sofia Coppola's work, with Lost in Translation being both of our favorite of hers. I think that's safe to say. This is a different type of age gap story though, but arguably Priscilla is even the better one between the two. Maybe I'm making that case. Cailee Spaeny deservedly won the Best Actress award in Venice, where it premiered, and Jacob Elordi does a better Elvis than Austin Butler. I think we definitely agree on that. We both said it here. All right. There's really not a ton of characters beyond these two in Priscilla. We are in their world. Now, Lachlan, did you get sucked into this world, invested in her journey, or did you stay from the outside looking in through the gate into their world?
I'm not sure. I feel like there's a lot of elements that don't involve me getting sucked in. It never really pulls me in all the way that I cannot wait to see what happens next, because I'm so uncomfortable with the relationship and I don't like what I'm seeing and I'm not happy that they are together. So it's weird because I want the best for her, but I know her outcome. She stays with him, and then it's a weird complex that never allows me to be sucked in because I know the outcome, and that's unfortunate. So I feel like I'm always just peeking in over the fence, having a little cheeky squiz at what's going on in Graceland, the world that they live in. So yeah, but I'm kept entertained by both performances of Cailee Spaeny and Jacob Elordi. They both do a incredible job playing Priscilla, playing Elvis, because I said this in the main big review. They're subtle. They're not over the top. And we have that with Austin Butler in Elvis. And the thing is, Baz Luhrmann's movies are big, over the top, showy, spectacular, incredible, right? And Austin Butler's Elvis is great in that regard. But he's still a human. In that movie, he's the king. In this movie, Elvis is human and he's down to earth. And he still has elements that come out, like as they still come out. There's a scene where he plays piano and we're quite enthralled with that scene and entertained. And
that
we can
glass shaking has me shaking as well. Yeah.
And we can see, like, that in that moment is necessary because that's where Priscilla sees him and what he can do and the power that Elvis has over people with his voice, with his talent, with his music, and it engages her to be part of his life. We have that same moment, we have that same feeling. Throughout the entire film, there's never really any upbeat, exciting moments. They're all quite mellow, and there are moments that we do have of high peaking, but it's matched with the soundtrack. The soundtrack is quite calming. There's not really any like crazy, super fast music that comes on at any point. It's all quite mellow and slow and enjoyable.
Yeah, and when the music gets faster, when they go to like a party, it definitely feels like we are entering the room with her. I think the point of view for Priscilla is done super effectively well. It's something where Sofia Coppola really excels at, to do these coming of age stories in the best possible way, where you that's why like I was maybe a bit more sucked into it than you were, and I was really invested in where the story takes her, even though, you know, from the outside looking in, more of just the biographical stats, you might know where it ends up. But for her personally, I think it's a different story that you can tell in like the moments in between that definitely aren't public for such a public figure like hers. Then it just also nails it in the tech departments. You mentioned the music that is mellow. I think not getting the rights to do the Elvis songs is a blessing in disguise. I think there's like a little joke that they do at one point, one with the Beatles. I think in the same moment he goes like, "Oh, are we gonna put on one of your songs or an actually good one?" And light jab into that direction. But then also the hair and makeup in this film really help to sell this story that spans, I think, over 2 decades roughly. Not probably like around a decade, but the transition from a girl to a woman with Priscilla is done so well that you might even miss it. It really doesn't stand out at all. And I think it's a different type of biopic that we don't get enough of, that doesn't, like Baz Luhrmann or Bohemian Rhapsody or some of these other ones that basically showcases this famous figure as someone larger than life, and then they come crashing down. That's basically their formula, where it just stays smaller, and it's basically a love story that it tells between these two characters that both have their own things going on. And yeah, it doesn't reduce it down to basically, hey, this is what she's trying to say with this film. But no, it's a character study involving real people. And yeah, I really liked it. So yeah, that's our thoughts on Priscilla. If you want to hear our spoiler thoughts, where we get a bit more into detail in the specific scenes, you can check out the latest podcast episode. But yeah, Lachlan, rating wise, I think we both land on like a 4 out of 5 for it. Definitely a full recommendation on our end, and the film is now out on VOD, so you can go see it digitally. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.